100 Things to Do in Connecticut Before You Die. That's the name of a brand new guidebook, taking you inside some of the state's best attractions and hidden gems.
Yeah, here to tell us all about it is author Stasha Healy. She is joining us. What a cool idea. I love the title. I love the idea that we can maybe try and check off 100 things to do.
Absolutely. This is your bucket list.
So, 64 countries, and you chose to write about Connecticut. You've been to 64 countries,
I have.
and your goal is 100.
My goal is 100.
That is remarkable.
And you still have kids at home.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it.
That is incredible. And all 50 states.
All 50 states.
But you love to sing the praises of Connecticut.
I feel like it's my personal mission to tell people that we are not a drive-by state.
No.
There is so much to do here. It was really hard to narrow everything down to 100 places.
How long did it take to research this book?
Well, I feel like I've been doing it all my life as a travel writer and living in Connecticut. I've been to a lot of these. I went to a lot of these places before the book came about. But I revisited, and I also found a lot of new places because there are 5 different categories, and I might know a lot about culture and history, but I might not know a lot about sports and recreation. And so I did a lot of research, and it was really fun.
That's incredible.
So, I mean, obviously you can't tell us 100 things, but like, what are some that we would not think of? Because you've got the big ones that maybe people have heard of, the Mark Twain House or something, but what are some of the ones that maybe we would never think of?
People might not know that we have a Stonehenge here in Connecticut.
We do? Like a spiritual site?
It's not a spiritual site. It is a, well, some people might consider it spiritual, actually. It is an outdoor sculpture park. Oh. And it's 234 acres. It's called Penn Hill Farms, and it's in Woodbury. Wow. And it's spectacular. They have all sorts of outdoor sculptures, including several Stonehenge-like structures.
How did you narrow it down to 100 things?
Well, there were 5 categories, and so I only had about 20 in each category.
Okay.
So
it kind of worked out.
So it kind of worked out, and I tried to make it geographically diverse, and also within each category to have a wide range. Was there a particular spot that you went to and you were like, you didn't know anything about, and you were like, this is absolutely wonderful? Well, I was an English major in college, I'm a writer. And I love Fitzgerald, and I had no idea that Westport was the setting for The Great Gatsby. Oh, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
You just learned something new.
And so you can do a walking tour and learn all about it.
Oh, wow. You can do a walking tour about how. Okay. So that's incredible. You know what? I also think, just on a practical sense, we've been doing stories about how couples need time to connect and, like, what are things you can do without breaking the bank. So this would be a great book for either your family or date day. Like, not all of this costs a lot of money. You could just go see something and learn.
There's lots of things that you can do as a couple without the kids. There's a lot of things that you can do with the kids. There are wineries and breweries and distilleries, which might be fun for some people. There's hot air ballooning, driving a race car at Lime Rock. I mean, there are so many different things that you can do. You wrote this first book during the pandemic, right? Yes. Tell us a little bit about that. So, Secret Connecticut, A Guide to the Weird, Wonderful, and Obscure. I love the title again. Yes. You have some great titles. Yeah. They're part of series, actually. So there's a Secret San Diego, there's a Secret, etc. And I didn't know that. Yep. Okay. And so Secret Connecticut, I interviewed librarians and museum curators, and I traveled around and I really dug deep and found some really interesting stories.
Tell us a secret.
There was Gustav Whitehead, who flew before the Wright brothers. Yes.
Okay, I think we have heard of that.
I've heard of that.
Right. Yeah. But this is so interesting that, I've been here, 23 years, you've been here 25, used to every town has a story. There's going to be things in here that even all of us, we don't know, even as much as we've been researching and learning about the state.
I had an opportunity to do most of the towns in Connecticut. We didn't include Fairfield, but it was called Every Town Has a Story. And we did like 3 or 4 different things that each town had to offer. And you'd be amazed at what some of these smaller towns have to offer, even if you don't think that they don't, but they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. So you could, how do you recommend we use the book? Do we go one by one, or what's the best way?
You might want to do it regionally. So one day you explore Hartford, one day you explore Essex, one day you explore Mystic, etc.
I want to open it up and just look a little bit.
And toot your own horn. You're pretty accomplished. Please tell us about yourself.
So I was an editor at Condé Nast Traveler magazine, Photos Travel Guides, Travel Agent magazine. I was responsible for New York City's official tourism information for a period of time.
Those are some remarkable accomplishments.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know what people might not realize, and we've been showing some, but there's some incredible pictures in here too.
Yes.
So if you're someone who's like, hey, I want to see if this is something that interests me, you've got gorgeous photography here, from the Goodspeed Opera House to the polo match.
What I didn't know was the Goodspeed Opera House was once a DOT garage, and they were going to knock it down.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah. They were going to knock it down. That's where they used to keep the sand for the town when they used to salt it.
Right.
And then they were like, we got to turn this
I
thing.
did the behind-the-scenes tour, and it's fascinating.
Isn't it fascinating? It's just so remarkable. So these are just some of the great ideas.
And there's no opera at the Opera House.
Isn't that funny?
They're musicals.
They're musicals.
Learn the role that Connecticut played in the life of Martin Luther King Jr. Well, what's
A lot
that?
of people don't
He
know
came
about
to Simsbury.
that. Yes, yes, and he was part of like a work program where students from historically black universities and colleges came to Simsbury and picked tobacco during the summer. And it was the first time he was out of the segregated South. It was the first time he had his letters home are beautiful. He writes about the freedoms that he had. And it was the first time he preached. He preached to the 107 boys in his dorm, and he sang in the choir at First Church in Simsbury.
That's so
This
great.
is incredible.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Well, we can't thank you enough for being on the show.
Thank you.
Where can we get the book? Everywhere?
Anywhere books are sold, and I have them on my website too if you want them signed.
Okay, that's even better. For more information.
You can go to StashaMillsHealy.com.
That's
Also
right.
follow along on Instagram at Stasha Travels, because Stasha's already been to 64 countries and she's going to more. So.
What's your next country, real quick?
Well, I haven't been to Scandinavia at all, so I'll probably head over there somewhere.
Okay, very good.
That's
Take me with
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
All right, still to come on this Thursday afternoon.